Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Anuja Kumar and with me is Saira Mujtaba with the Midday News. The headlines. Delhi High Court dismisses plea to halt Central Vista work amid COVID pandemic, says the project is of national importance. Centre provides over 23 crore vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. India reports lowest number of daily new COVID-19 cases in 50 days. Over 1,52,000 cases reported in the last 24 hours. National recovery rate increases to 91.60%. A total of 2,38,022 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. ICMR initiates efforts in mission mode to ramp up testing to 45 lakh per day, to upscale rural testing by 30th of June. Several states extend lockdown with certain relaxations. Public sector banks announced new loans to mitigate the impact of COVID. Southwest monsoon to hit Kerala by 3rd of June. World leaders call for action and inclusion of all countries towards a cleaner and greener planet at a climate summit hosted by South Korea. And Pooja Rani bags gold at Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. MC Mary Kom, Lal Buatsai and Anupama settle for silver. In the wake of COVID-19, we appeal to our listeners not to lower the guard, take all precautions, and all those above 45 years of age who have taken the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to get vaccinated with the second dose at the scheduled time. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. National helplines are operational for providing COVID-related information and guidance to the people. The national helpline number is 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Delhi High Court has dismissed a petition which had sought a stay on the construction taking place at Central Vista Avenue during the peak phase of COVID-19 pandemic and imposed a cost of 1 lakh rupees on the petitioner. The division bench of Chief Justice D.N. Patel and Justice Jyoti Singh said the work at Central Vista Avenue is part and parcel of the work at Central Vista project and of vital public importance. The construction of Central Vista Avenue redevelopment cannot be seen in isolation, it added. The bench said that since the workers working at the project are staying on site, there is no question of issuing directions to suspend the work of Central Vista Avenue redevelopment project. The bench added the DDMA in the April 19th order has not prohibited construction activity where labourers are residing on site. The court on 17th of May had reserved its judgment in the case, stating that the whole Central Vista project is an essential project of national importance. The court today said sovereign functions of Parliament are also going to be conducted there and the public is vitally interested in this project. It further noted that the work at the Central Avenue has to be completed before November and said time is the essence of the contract. The central government had approved a proposal for development of Central Vista Avenue with estimated cost of over 608 crore rupees on 10th of November 2020. Requisite permissions from Delhi Urban Arts Commission, Heritage Conservation Committee, Central Vista Committee and local body were obtained. The components of development work under Phase 1 include refurbishing of landscaping and lawns. More from a correspondent.
The Central Vista of New Delhi houses Rashtrapati Bhavan, Parliament House, North and South Block, India Gate and National Archives. All these iconic buildings were constructed before 1931, the year in which the new capital was inaugurated. The other office buildings were built on various plots subsequently to address the office requirements of central ministries and departments in an unplanned manner. Parliament House building came up in 1927 and is declared heritage building. Its facilities and infrastructure are inadequate to meet the current demand. Therefore, there is an imperative need to construct a new estate of art Parliament building in close vicinity. This proposal may address not only the space requirement but may result into an iconic structure as a symbol of democracy. The government has set stringent timelines to complete the development of Parliament Building, Common Central Secretariat and Central Vista. While the timelines given to CPWD to complete the Central Vista project is November 2021, the work on Parliament Building is to be completed by March 2022 and the Common Central Secretariat by March 2024. With Mohammad Nasim Naqvi, Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
India has reported the lowest number of daily new COVID-19 cases in 50 days. A total of 1,52,734 cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate has increased to 91.6%. The recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 18th consecutive day. A total of 2,38,022 patients recovered in the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries across the country so far is over 2,56,92,000. The number of active cases has decreased to 88,416 in the last 24 hours. 3,128 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll to over 3,29,000. The daily positivity rate stands at 9.07%. The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has initiated efforts in mission mode to ramp up testing to 45 lakh per day and massively upscale rural testing by 30th of June. Earlier this month, ICMR revised its testing strategy that rationalizes testing through RT-PCR and enhanced testing in rural areas. In the last 17 months, ICMR has covered many milestones as India continues its fight against COVID. India had reached the landmark of 300 million cumulative tests on 7th of May.
Vaccination is an integral pillar of the comprehensive strategy for containment and management of the COVID-19 pandemic, along with test, track, treat and COVID-appropriate behavior. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, the central government has been supporting the states and the union territories by providing them COVID vaccines free of cost. In addition, it has also been facilitating direct procurement of vaccines by the states and union territories. A report.
The liberalized and accelerated Phase 3 strategy of COVID-19 vaccination is underway in the country. Under this strategy, every month 50% of vaccine of any manufacturer is being procured by the central government, and these doses are being provided to the states and union territories totally free of cost. So far, Centre has provided over 23 crore vaccine doses to states and UTs free of cost. Of this, the total consumption, including wastage, is over 21 crore doses. More than 1 crore 75 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses are still available with the states and UTs, and over 2,73,000 vaccine doses are in the pipeline and will be provided to them within the next 3 days. Divakar, AIR News, Delhi.
Vaccination is an integral pillar of the comprehensive strategy of containment. I beg your pardon? The manufacturer of the Sputnik vaccine will provide few doses to Delhi next month. Talking to media on the sidelines of a function today, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said the Sputnik makers have assured that they will give few vaccines from the imported doses after 20th of June. Earlier, he inaugurated a free vaccination facility at a government school for journalists and their family members.
In Maharashtra, a drive-in vaccination centre in Hadapsar area of Pune was virtually inaugurated by Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. The drive-in vaccination centre will cater to the elderly and Divyangs. Pune leads in the vaccination drive in the state. More details from our Mumbai correspondent.
Mr. Patil also said that 1 hour counselling session of students should be done by teachers online to allay fear among them. He said to fight the possible third wave of COVID-19, teachers, parents and health machinery should come together, adding that protocol will be prepared in next 4 days, listing out the measures to take care of kids and students. On the other hand, Maharashtra government has facilitated walk-in vaccination of students studying abroad. Accordingly, arrangements have been made at 3 vaccination centres of Mumbai civic body. Meanwhile, borders of districts and corporations having more than 20% positivity rate will be totally closed and no person will be allowed to enter or exit from such districts. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
Gujarat has recorded 1,871 new cases of COVID-19. According to the State Health Department, 5,146 patients recovered in the last 24 hours and were discharged from the hospitals. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Total 7,62,670 patients have been recovered from COVID-19 in Gujarat till now. The recovery rate further improved and reached up to 94.40%. Maximum 237 new cases of COVID-19 reported from Ahmedabad. 25 patients lost their lives yesterday. With this, the death toll due to COVID-19 in the state has reached up to 9,815. Gujarat has now 35,403 active cases at present. 1,83,070 persons have been vaccinated in the state yesterday. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
In Chhattisgarh, a virtual program of yoga has started from today to reduce the post-COVID effects in the people who have been treated for the infection. We have more from our Raipur correspondent.
The Chhattisgarh Yoga Commission has started a virtual program of yoga practice and counseling from today. This will be held in 2 shifts every day. It will also be broadcast live on social media. Under this program, yoga instructors will guide people for yoga and breathing exercises. The objective of this program is to reduce post-COVID effect in people who recovered from COVID-19 as well as to reduce the effects of corona infection and increase the immunity in people undergoing treatment in home isolation. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
In Assam, the Panchayat and Rural Development Department has set up a war room in each Gram Panchayat of the state in its efforts to contain the spread of COVID-19. Talking to news persons in Guwahati today, Panchayat and Rural Development Minister Ranjit Kumar Das said that 304 Gram Panchayats and village councils are free from COVID in the state. A report from our Guwahati correspondent.
The Panchayat and Rural Development Department in Assam is actively involved in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Panchayat and Rural Development Minister Ranjit Kumar Das informed that along with setting up a war room in every Gram Panchayat, task force has also been constituted in rural areas. Sanitization work is being conducted by the task force. The minister also said that teams like MG Narega and Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana are implemented in the state with a dedicated approach. Over 62,000 people who returned to Assam from other states in the first wave of COVID were identified by the department and they have been engaged in various activities. Manas Patim Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
In Karnataka, Deputy Chief Minister Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan has said that the state is today equipped to handle any COVID wave now and in the future. Addressing the BJP workers in Bengaluru yesterday, the minister said that the health infrastructure in the state is equipped to handle the pandemic. He informed that there are over 24,000 oxygenated beds in hospitals and 10,000 in medical colleges. Oxygen supply has increased from 150 metric tons to 1,200 metric tons today in the state. He pointed out that the central government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made the country self-sufficient in the manufacturing of ventilators, masks, sanitizers, PPE kits and in vaccine production.
The centre has been disseminating awareness of 4 national-level helpline numbers created for the benefit of the citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. Information and Broadcasting Ministry is promoting awareness about these helpline numbers to its various departments. The national helpline of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for COVID-related queries is 1075. The child helpline number of Ministry of Women and Child Development is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Over the last several months, the government has created awareness through various instrumentalities and media platforms for creating awareness on the 3 critical issues: COVID treatment protocol, COVID appropriate behavior, and vaccination. Private TV and FM channels are also advised to promote awareness of these helplines by way of a ticker or such appropriate ways as they may consider at periodical intervals, especially during prime time.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Delhi High Court dismisses plea to halt Central Vista work amid COVID pandemic, says the project is of national importance. Centre provides over 23 crore vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. India reports lowest number of daily new COVID-19 cases in 50 days. Over 1,52,000 cases reported in the last 24 hours. National recovery rate increases to 91.6%. A total of 2,38,022 patients recover in the last 24 hours. ICMR initiates efforts in mission mode to ramp up testing to 45 lakh per day to upskill rural testing by 30th of June. Several states extend lockdown with certain relaxations. Public sector banks announce new loans to mitigate impact of COVID. Southwest monsoon to hit Kerala by 3rd of June. World leaders call for action and inclusion of all countries towards a cleaner and greener planet at a climate summit hosted by South Korea. In the French Open tennis tournament, two-time finalist Dominic Thiem defeated by Spaniard Pablo Andujar. And Pooja Rani bags gold at Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. MC Mary Kom, Lalbot Sahe and Anupama settled for silver. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. The government has said a false narrative was created over the Central Vista project in the last few months. Reacting to Delhi High Court's nod to the project, Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said several false allegations were levelled against the centre on this issue. He said this project has not been conceptualised recently and it was discussed during the UPA government. He said the work on this project was started before the COVID-19 pandemic. He clarified that none of the historic buildings will be touched while completing the project.
सेंट्रल विस्टा और सेंट्रल विस्टा एवेन्यू, उनमें अंतर जो है वो भी नहीं मालूम. द टू आर बीइंग फ्रीली इंटरचेंज. पहली बात तो ये है सेंट्रल विस्टा प्रोजेक्ट जो एक बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है जिसमें अगले 250-300 वर्ष के लिए हमें भारत सरकार का गवर्नेंस आर्किटेक्चर जो है उसके बनाने की हमारे पास एक ब्रॉड प्लान है. ये प्रोजेक्ट ना अभी शुरू हुआ है ना अभी कंसेप्चुलाइज हुआ है. मैं आपको इसका 2 उदाहरण देता हूं. हमारी पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग है, ये कुछ 100 वर्ष पहले बनाई गई थी, नॉट फॉर the legislature of an independent country. बाकी भी जो बिल्डिंग्स हैं, राष्ट्रपति भवन, नॉर्थ ब्लॉक, साउथ ब्लॉक, पार्लियामेंट, बाकी जो हेरिटेज बिल्डिंग है, हम शुरू से ये स्पष्ट करते आ रहे हैं कि none of these buildings will be touched. जो historic, cultural, iconic buildings है, they will remain exactly as they are.
The public sector banks in India have announced various support measures and launch of new loan products to mitigate the impact of COVID pandemic. This will include the unsecured loans of up to 5 lakh rupees to individuals to meet their and family members' COVID-19 treatment cost. The Indian Banks Association and State Bank of India jointly announced 3 new loan products in Mumbai yesterday.
The centre today allocated over 30,000 additional vials of amphotericin B used in the treatment of mucormycosis to all the states and union territories and central institutions. Maximum of 5,900 vials have been allocated to Maharashtra, followed by 5,630 to Gujarat, 3,670 to Rajasthan and 1,930 vials to Karnataka. As the lockdown measures in the national capital have been extended for 1 more week, that is till the 7th of June, the Delhi government has allowed some activities outside the containment zones from today. As per the District Disaster Management Authority order, operations of manufacturing, production units within closed premises in approved industrial areas have been allowed from today. Besides, construction activities within their work sites have also been permitted. Only asymptomatic workers are to be allowed into construction sites and factories. At workplaces, consumption of gutka, pan, chewing of tobacco and spitting has been prohibited. Workers have to wear masks and abide by social distancing norms all the time. Provision of thermal screening, hand wash and sanitizer, preferably with touch-free mechanism, will be made at all entry and exit points and common areas. All district magistrates shall ensure random RT-PCR or rapid antigen tests in sufficient numbers at these manufacturing, production units and construction sites on regular basis. Delhi first went under lockdown to contain the spread of COVID-19 on 19th of April and later extended it from time to time.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has announced that the lockdown that is currently in force across the state till tomorrow has now been extended till 8th of June 2021. In a tweet, Mr. Kumar said concessions has been given for business activities in the state. Vaccination centres, banks and essential services will remain functional during the lockdown. This decision was taken at a meeting of Crisis Management Group, which was chaired by the Chief Minister. Mr. Kumar said the lockdown has had a positive impact in the state. Mr. Kumar said positivity rate has declined and recovery rate increased after the lockdown. As per the revised guidelines, all government offices will function every day till 4 p.m. with 25% attendance. Non-government offices will remain closed. According to revised guidelines, ration shops, dairy, vegetables and meat shops will remain open between 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. across the state. The Haryana government has extended the lockdown till the 7th of next month with a major relaxation for opening shopping malls from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Addressing a press conference, Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal said, as per the request made by the shopkeepers, vendors and businessmen regarding the extension of timings, now the shops can be open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on odd-even basis. The Chief Minister said the shopping malls have to follow the prescribed visitor and time limitations. In the shopping mall, one person per area of 25 square meters will be allowed to remain present at one time.
In Maharashtra's Nashik, the district authority has been taking help of local dialects of the tribals to clear apprehensions and to facilitate the COVID-19 vaccination drive. Nashik Zilla Parishad's Chief Executive Officer, Leena Bansor, said that there have been certain misconceptions among tribals regarding the vaccination drive. Hence, she said, the district authority has been making use of local dialects of the tribals to create awareness on the benefits of taking the vaccine against COVID-19. Ms. Bansor further said that audio-video clips have been made in these local dialects to create awareness. The West Bengal government requested the centre to rescind the latest order regarding transfer of its Chief Secretary, Alapan Bandyopadhyay, on the normal date of his superannuation. In a letter sent to the Prime Minister this morning, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee informed that the state government cannot release its Chief Secretary at this critical hour.
India Meteorological Department has said that the onset of monsoon in Kerala is likely to take place by the 3rd of June. Earlier, it had predicted the arrival of monsoon over Kerala by the 31st of May. Talking to AIR News, IMD DG Vityunjay Mohapatra said that the southwesterly winds could strengthen further gradually from the 1st of June.
Normally, southeast monsoon sets in over Kerala around past June. At present, the strength of westerly winds near Kerala coast has not increased. Also, the rainfall has not increased. Therefore, all the criteria for onset of monsoon of Kerala is not being satisfied at present. After 1st June, the conditions will improve with strengthening of westerly winds and increase in rainfall activity gradually over Kerala coast. Therefore, we are expecting that southeast monsoon is likely to set in over Kerala around 3rd June.
World leaders called for more action and inclusion of all countries in the global drive towards a cleaner and greener planet at a climate summit hosted virtually by South Korea. The two-day summit ended yesterday, is the second of its kind following the inaugural meeting held in Copenhagen in 2018 and is focused on public-private partnerships, especially in developing countries. South Korea, which recently announced plans to cut finance for international coal projects, is seeking a bigger role in the global initiative to go green. Advanced nations have laid out ambitious emissions-cutting goals in recent months, as well as plans to ultimately go carbon neutral by 2050.
Today is World No Tobacco Day. The yearly celebration informs the public on the dangers of using tobacco, the business practices of tobacco companies, among other issues. The member states of the World Health Organization created World No Tobacco Day in 1987 to draw global attention to the tobacco epidemic and the preventable death and disease it causes. On to sports now. At the Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai, defending champion Pooja Rani won the gold medal in the 75 kg women's category, while legendary pugilist MC Mary Kom, Lalbat Sahe and Anupama finished with silver. Tokyo Olympics bound Pooja defeated Mavluda Movlonova of Uzbekistan 5-0 and secured India's first gold medal at the ongoing event. She had also won the gold medal in the previous edition in 2019, but that was in the 81 kg division. Today, Indian male boxers Amit Panghal, Shiva Thapa and Sanjeet will fight it out in the finals. Two-time French Open finalist Dominic Thiem was stunned by veteran Spaniard Pablo Andujar in the first round at Roland-Garros. Thiem has struggled for form since winning his first Grand Slam title at the US Open last summer, but looked to be finding a way past his 35-year-old opponent when he opened up a two-set lead. Andujar, who beat Roger Federer in Geneva last week, fought back dramatically to win 4-6, 5-7, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4 in a match that lasted more than 4 hours.
Amid calls for a fresh probe into the origins of COVID-19, a new study has alleged that Chinese scientists created the virus in a Wuhan lab. A research paper by British professor Angus Dalgleish and Norwegian scientist Dr. Birger Sorensen said that the Chinese scientists tried to hide the evidence by reverse engineering versions of the virus to make it look like it evolved from bats, UK's Daily Mail reported. The research paper said the SARS-CoV-2 has no credible natural ancestor and was created by Chinese scientists who were working on a gain-of-function project in a Wuhan lab. And now let us take a look at the weather report and forecast for today. The national capital Delhi is having thunderstorm with rain. The maximum temperature will be around 38 degrees Celsius. The minimum was 25 degrees. Mumbai is facing a cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Maximum temperature will be 34 degrees Celsius, rising from a lower level of 29 degrees. Kolkata is having a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The city temperature will move from a minimum of 28 degrees Celsius to a maximum of around 36 degrees. Chennai is witnessing a partly cloudy sky. Upper limit of temperature will be 38 degrees Celsius, while the lower limit was 29 degrees. Srinagar is facing a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Temperature will hover between 15 and 28 degrees Celsius. Jammu is having a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Temperature will rise from a minimum of 26 degrees Celsius to a maximum of around 38 degrees. Leh is seeing a generally cloudy sky. The upper limit of temperature will be around 21 from minimum of 7 degrees Celsius. Gilgit is having a partly cloudy sky. Temperature will move from a minimum of 15 to a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, the sky is partly cloudy. The temperature will increase from a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius to a maximum of around 28 degrees. Dehradun is experiencing thunderstorm with rain. Upper limit of temperature will be around 35 degrees from minimum 21 degrees. In Chandigarh, the sky is generally cloudy with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The temperature likely to rise up to 35 degrees Celsius from 27 degrees. In Hyderabad, rain or thunder showers would occur towards evening or night. Ahmedabad is having a mainly clear sky. Maximum temperature will be around 41 degrees, while minimum was 28 degrees. Patna is witnessing a partly cloudy sky with the possibility of development of thunder lightning, with temperatures moving from 26 to 34 degrees Celsius. While in Guwahati, the sky is generally cloudy with moderate rain. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Delhi High Court dismisses plea to halt Central Vista work amid COVID pandemic, says the project is of national importance. Centre provides over 23 crore vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. India reports lowest number of daily new COVID-19 cases in 50 days, over 1,52,000 cases reported in the last 24 hours. National recovery rate increases to 91.60%. A total of 2,38,022 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. ICMR initiates efforts in mission mode to ramp up testing to 45 lakh per day to upscale rural testing by 30th of June. Several states extend lockdown with certain relaxations. Public sector banks announced new loans to mitigate impact of COVID. Southwest monsoon to hit Kerala by 3rd of June. World leaders call for action and inclusion of all countries towards a cleaner and greener planet at a climate summit hosted by South Korea. In the French Open tennis tournament, two-time finalist Dominic Thiem defeated by Spaniard Pablo Andujar. And Pooja Rani bags gold at Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. MC Mary Kom, Lal Butsai and Anupma settle for silver. And with that we end the midday news.